It started, as many great discoveries often do, with something subtle, almost invisible at first, yet destined to shake the pillars of human knowledge. On a quiet, unassuming evening, an astonishing event unfolded, rippling across the realms of particle physics and astrophysics alike. At the beating heart of Europe's greatest scientific facility, CERN, nestled beneath the Franco-Swiss border, sensitive detectors recorded a sudden, furious burst of high-energy neutrinos. These ghostly, nearly massless particles, normally passing silently through all matter without interaction, this time made their presence known in a blinding surge of activity. At precisely the same moment, far beyond the cradle of our solar system, Voyager 1, humanity's farthest and oldest messenger to the stars, whispered back a strange, irregular transmission. It was subtle, almost like a tremor in the deep silence of space, a barely perceptible shift in the otherwise constant rhythm of its carrier signal. But for the careful eyes and vigilant minds monitoring Voyager's data streams, the anomaly stood out like a sudden storm cloud in a clear sky. The timing was uncanny. The odds of two such extraordinary phenomena occurring at random, at the exact same instant, stretched credulity to its breaking point. It was as though two ends of a vast cosmic string had been plucked simultaneously, vibrating across the unimaginable chasm of interstellar space. What could possibly link an ancient spacecraft, sailing silently through the dark ocean beyond Pluto, with the subatomic maelstrom inside Earth's most advanced laboratories? The scientific community was left reeling, questioning assumptions that had been accepted for decades. Was there some hidden communication happening, not through traditional electromagnetic waves, but through the very structure of space-time itself? Was Voyager somehow resonating with deep quantum fields, stirred by events unfolding in distant particle accelerators? Thus began the investigation, one that would ultimately lead to a revelation more profound, more paradigm-shattering, than anything previously conceived. Within days, teams at CERN meticulously combed through the data, confirming the neutrino burst's authenticity. It had not been a machine glitch, or an experimental error. These neutrinos bore unusual signatures, ones not matching any known decay chains or standard cosmic ray interactions. Some were speculated to be sterile neutrinos, a long hypothesized, shadowy cousin of the more familiar neutrino types, possibly interacting only via gravity and unknown dark forces. Meanwhile, astrophysicists around the globe turned their gaze toward Voyager 1's peculiar transmission. They analyzed its electromagnetic properties, cross-referencing cosmic radiation, solar wind interference, and all known natural disturbances. None could account for the transmission's strange, quasi-regular oscillations. It was as if Voyager was caught in a gentle tug-of-war between unseen forces, gently nudged by some distant orchestration beyond human comprehension. Even more intriguingly, the modulation of the signal bore mathematical patterns, ratios and intervals, eerily similar to those theorized in advanced models of quantum entanglement and spacetime geometry. Patterns that hinted at a hidden structure underlying reality itself. The implications were staggering. If these neutrinos were indeed sterile, they could serve as direct messengers from realms of the universe previously beyond reach, realms connected not by light or electromagnetic fields, but by some deeper, hidden lattice of existence. And if Voyager 1, so far beyond the Sun's magnetic grasp, was now sensitive to these dark sector currents, it suggested that information, or at least influence, could propagate across cosmic distances instantly. One by one, the world's most advanced research centers, sprawling like hidden fortresses of knowledge across the continents, began to report their findings. The Gran Sasso Laboratory, buried deep beneath Italy's ancient Apennine Mountains, a place where time seemed to slow in the subterranean hush, detected anomalies in their sensitive neutrino arrays. The data showed unmistakable signatures, sudden, unexplained bursts of activity, rhythmic in a way nature rarely permits. thousands of miles away, encased within the eternal ice of Antarctica, the Ice Cube Neutrino Observatory, a sprawling lattice of detectors frozen into the glacier itself, registered similar disturbances. Here, where the Earth's coldest winds whisper across endless white deserts, instruments buried deep in the ancient ice captured faint yet persistent echoes. Tiny flashes of light, Cherenkov radiation, marked the rare interactions of neutrinos with ice molecules, each burst telling a silent story that hinted at a cosmic disturbance far beyond ordinary comprehension. In the distant hills of Japan, where mist drifts through cedar forests and sacred mountains, the Super Kamiokande neutrino detector stood vigilant, its enormous tank of ultra-pure water shimmering like a hidden lake under artificial stars. There, too, scientists observed inexplicable patterns, a chorus of neutrinos singing a silent hymn, their frequencies weaving together into a structure no one could explain. Across the planet, from underground bunkers to frozen deserts, from quiet valleys to forgotten caverns, the pattern was the same. It was as if Earth itself had become a drumhead, vibrating under the impact of an unseen hand, a resonance not of this world, but of something vaster, older, and immeasurably more complex. And far beyond, adrift in the endless black between the stars, Voyager 1 continued its lonely vigil. Its ancient instruments, battered by cosmic rays, worn by decades of silent flight, still managed to whisper across the abyss, sending home a signal that no longer obeyed the familiar laws. The fluctuations in its transmissions grew subtly richer, more intricate, as if the probe itself were learning a new language, or responding to one. It was as though Voyager, in its infinite isolation, had brushed against something, an invisible membrane at the edge of reality, a curtain drawn back for just a moment to reveal the architecture behind the stars. Its transmissions began to shimmer with strange harmonics, frequencies modulating in ways no simple machine could produce on its own. To the researchers who dared to imagine beyond the textbook, it was almost as if Voyager was no longer merely sending, it was receiving. What was emerging now was no longer a localized mystery. It was not a freak accident, nor a random fluctuation to be dismissed by equations and probabilities. It was a revelation, an unfolding event with fingerprints pressed deep into the very fabric of existence. A few bold minds, long marginalized for their unconventional ideas, stepped forward with hypotheses that once would have been considered pure fantasy. In hushed conference rooms and over encrypted communications, they spoke of concepts previously relegated to the outermost edges of scientific thought. Could this be the first observable sign of a quantum network, an invisible web connecting distant regions of the universe, not through physical proximity, but through some deeper, non-local substrate of reality? Had Voyager, in its ceaseless voyage beyond the sun's dominion, stumbled into a cosmic node, a junction where information from countless realms